I had the great succos to go to Poland for the Ronald Lauder Foundation. And there was a retreat of young people from the age of 14 to the age of, I think, about 33. It was a whole large group together. They were there for 2 weeks. I went in for only 5 days of those 2 weeks. It was an amazing thing. If we had a few hours, I would love to tell you what happened. While I was there, I gave the shiur every day, different shiur, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, one time at night. Oh, there were a few different people giving shiurim. And there was, of course, the men's side, and there was also a side where there were ladies. There happened to be one young girl that came every time in the shiur, would sit into the front, would take notes, every moment in the notes, and she was there at every shiur. Not only did I see her when I was giving the shiur, she would sit the closest that you could possibly sit towards the mechitza in the middle, but also she came to all the other shiurim, and it was a very interesting thing. Came to be then, but she never talked, she never said and never asked a question. The men asked a question. Sometimes there would be a couple of ladies that would wait, they would ask her. She never asked, and she would leave. A little bit mysterious. I was leaving Sunday. I was supposed to go from this place. It's an old retreat center. It's not a retreat center. It was an old dump, but that's where we stayed. And I was leaving this place. As I was leaving, I said goodbye to everybody. This young girl was standing there and said, "Could I ask a question to you?" in very broken English. I said, "Of course." She says, "No, it's privat question, private." I said, "Okay." There was a little hole. I said, "You can go," everyone was saying goodbye, so you go in the hole and you can ask a question. Here was what she asked me. I never had such a shaila in my life. The shaila that she asked is, she grew up in a house, and the house is Catholic. Her grandmother, elderly grandmother, was in the house since she was a little girl. And she loved the elderly grandmother. And they're a very close family. The elderly grandmother was nifteres. She died. So this girl, quite a mature young lady, wanted to help out her mother. After all, it made it even more difficult because they lived in the same house. The attachment was so strong. So the day when the death certificate came in the mail for the mama, this girl wanted to spare her mother during those few days right after the death, after the Batira. She wanted to spare her mother any unnecessary agmas nefesh, any pain. And she went, she opened up the letter. Now, she begins to read the letter from the doctor, and it was the wrong name. The name was Miriam Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz, that's not our name. She had to tell her mother there was a mistake. She runs in, "Mommy, they send the wrong notice. We have to do something about it." "What do you mean the wrong notice?" the mother says. "It says here Miriam Lefkowitz." The mother's face dropped. She begins to cry. She tells her daughter, "I want to apologize to you. I don't know how to tell you this. This is the right name for your grandmother. She was Jewish, which means I am Jewish, which means you're Jewish too." The girl heard this. She was very upset. She being told, she went to the church every week. She was involved in it. She was kind of active, and all of a sudden she finds out that her mother says she's Jewish. She runs into the street. She starts walking and walking and walking. She's crying. She's upset. They fooled her. They didn't tell her. They aren't honest about it. And how could they hold such a thing back? But she was very angry about it. All of a sudden, she's walking in the streets of Katowice, the place where there was a Knessia Gedola. My Mechut knows, Rav Fleischer Shlita, of course, that the Knessia Gedola was on the same streets. And what happened? In those streets, while she's walking, she sees a group of young people, teenagers, backpacks and bags, and one has a suitcase. And she sees, I never saw like that in Poland, just waiting like a group of, where are you going? One of them says, we're going to a camp. It's a retreat for Jewish young people. We're going there for 2 weeks. And we're waiting on the bus to come. Are you Jewish? First time she's asked if she's Jewish. She doesn't know what to say. Is she Jewish? Is she not Jewish? What is she? She doesn't answer it. They come and they surround her. It's a mitzvah gedola. Chavetz Chaim says in Chomas Adas in the beginning, you have an opportunity to be Mekarv another Yid. You can reach out to another Jew. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't wait for the next time. Eisha Torah, come in, or Samech. Yes, they're the professionals, but we all got to try. So what happens? So there is a moment that this girl said, why don't you come with us? She said, no, I can't come. The girl that spoke to her was very smart. She said, I'll give you the number in the camp. This is the telephone number. Please call and we'll make arrangements. We'll get you. Or one of us will come. They don't have no money. One of us will come and we'll show you how you take the train and get off and take the bus. So she took the paper, she put it in her pocket, and she walked away. Don't understand it. The grandmother is nefteres. The certificate comes. All of a sudden she meets Jewish young people going to some kind of a camp. She was very bothered by it. She came in, doesn't say a word to her mother. A couple of days passed by. She forgot about the paper. She goes to sleep one night, and while she's trying to get to sleep and she's so bothered by everything that happened, she remembered the paper in the pocket. She takes out the paper. She decides she's going to call. She calls through to the retreat. There it happens to be that the person that answered the phone when she asked for this young lady was quite nearby. She went and got her on the phone. This time she wasn't going to let it go. They made arrangements. Sure enough, that girl came there. She didn't tell anybody her story. She sat in the shir, in the davening, whatever it was, she participated in the best way that she could. So now she tells me, while I'm ready to go, what am I? Am I Jewish? Am I not? Where should I go? What should I do? That's a difficult question to answer. Difficult, because you got to be careful on it. I gave her the following answer. I said, your answer was already given to you. Your grandmother sent you an answer from the Olam HaEmes, from Gan Eden, where she's at right now. She sent you an answer because she's reaching out to bring her granddaughter, who she loves so dear, that she wants her to know who she is in this world. Your neshama knows where it belongs. I don't have to tell you the answer to that question. By this time the driver came in. He was ready to punch me. I was so late. And literally he picks me up, starts dragging me out the door. And it was hard. So someone was very smart. The director of the retreat said, we'll send a couple of people along. She can go together in the car to Bialska Biała, where the train went, where the car was going to go to Krakow, to the airport. Within that hour and a half, I was able to talk with her, and I had asked her if she would consider coming to a Jewish school. Just a neshama on fire. She said she would consider it. I'm happy to say that Elul, she came. There's a school in Washington, D.C. that took her in, a Jewish school that helped her in order to become a Bas Torah. Today, L'Shem L'Tiferes, she's living in Eretz Yisrael, only a matter of a few years. Hashem Yisbarach, as Reb Chaim Baal Lozhiner said, gave us the chain. We have the chain, the nefesh, ruach, and neshama. No matter how far, no matter where and what a person's gone through, that chain is strong.